Hello, my lovelies. I hope the picture's all right on this because the internet connection has been a bit iffy. And if you see a pixelated video picture of me, let me know. Anyway, hello, Kate. Hello, Julie's, Cindy, Maud. Saw bluebells before. Bluebells. So is the picture all right, me little ducklings? So is the picture all right? Can people actually hear me talking? Oh, great stuff. Great, because it was playing up the other day. Hello, Jimmy. So here we go. I've invited a few people, sent the link out. Moto's going to be a bit late. But, do you know what? The terrible thing of getting old, right? Kelsey. Terrible thing of getting old, a white mouse pointer on a white screen is not fart friendly, because I'm always saying, where is it? Where is it? I can never see it. And I'll put the link out in a minute. Just tell you what my day's been like, feeling a bit of time. Oh, what a day. Well, I thought I'd broken my big toe on my left foot. Stood up. I can't even remember how I did it, but my toe went right under. Just doubled right over, and I heard this crack, and I thought, oh, Jesus, don't tell me I've broken my toe. And it hurt like hell, but so far, touch wood, it's been okay. It's settled down. But oh, it hurt. It did hurt. I wasn't too happy doing that. Oh, was Julie's? It just cracked. It was the crack and my toes crack anyway. Anyway, I've always been able to do that. I've got like hairline fracture, natural, nothing. I was never injured, but I have hairline fractures in my toes, so that when I move my toes in a certain way, I can make them click. And that's apparently how the Fox sisters, who invented spiritualism, they were fraudulent, the Fox sisters. And to make the sound of the rapping and all that, one of them could click her toes. She had the same as me. And that's how she fooled people. Right now, that's what I'll do. I'll put this out now. I say, people can show yourself in the waiting room, so I know who you are, because people come on doing silly things, don't they? Wee bed feet. Is that a Scottish saying? Wee bed feet. I was saying before, Stacey Smackhead Mom. Such a sweet, lovely name, isn't that? Sweet, lovely name. You don't know, you're reading a post by her and you don't know whether she's being insulting or she's not, because she does it she writes in her phonetically in her dialect, and I don't know that dialect, so I'm like, I don't know which way to take that. So if anyone wants to drop, come on, just feel free to. I say, if you've been invited, but it's just a matter of they come on, you know, when they can. Just reading the comments. Edinburgh Castle Rocks. You know what? I used to have a really strange dream about Edinburgh, and not a very nice one. And I don't know where it was, but actually, I've seen this place, not in person, but I've seen it. I'm sure I have somewhere, because I don't know why I dream of it. And it's like a castle sort of thing, and it's got a round piece, a big round piece where you can walk out onto, and you can see like the surrounding area. But of course, Edinburgh's all built on rocks, isn't it? And it's not so much that nothing happens, but I just get this horrible feeling of dread coming over me in the dream. I had a few times a horrible feeling of absolutely doom and dread standing on this. And I remember, I'm sure I saw it on the television clip, and I thought, oh God, that's the place that I dream I'm standing on. But I don't know why. That's all. It's just a horrible feeling. It's like, oh, I don't want to be here. Oh, I'm well, Rob. Thank you. Hope you are. Oh, you broke your toe. No fun, is it? No fun at all. Oh, here we are. We've got someone. Let's see. Oh, we've got. Oh. We've got celebrities on. Well, we've got one celebrity on. Here we are.
Hi!
Oh, God, you're loud. Oh, my poor little pretty ears. Me logo.
He's always loud.
Can you hear her?
Oh, no, totally.
Right, Chrissy, get the cake out.
Anne?
Yeah.
You know, on Wednesday morning, are you meeting us for breakfast?
Breakfast?
We're in Liverpool?
Do you not mean Thursday morning?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning? Yeah, if you want to. Where are you going?
Anywhere you like.
Anyway you want, we'll be in Liverpool, so it would be rude not to meet.
See, the thing is, oh God, you know, I'm just looking at this lighting is doing my bloody owl face no good. Jeez, look, it's never used
look
to
at this,
look at that. Cake. No, you can see all me skeletal bleeding chiseled out. I call it defining my cheekbones, but actually it's not. It's just that your face starts falling in on itself.
I haven't seen my cheekbones in a long time, Anne.
I'm telling you now, I never had
you got cheekbones.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, yeah, we'll arrange it behind the scenes. We don't want all these fans turning up, you know.
Unless we're going, because we're going to that Dougie Joyce thing, the comedy night, but I wasn't sure if you were going or not. So I said to Craig, we'll have to get Anne to meet with the next morning to go for breakfast.
See, I would have gone there, but it's Waterloo, isn't it? And I have one hell of a time getting back from Waterloo.
Well, we'll give you a lift.
Waterloo's a hell of a way, isn't it? Well, it's not a hell of a way. It's a train, because where I live, I'm right on the border. You couldn't get more.
I can give you a lift.
I'll think about it.
We're not drinking, so...
Okay, but definitely get breakfast the next morning.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so what's the drama been like for you lot? Oh, wait a minute. Yossa, I haven't seen Yossa for a long time. Where have you been? Yossa hasn't been on mic for over a year. No, let's talk about the situation.
I've just been laughing at his body reactions, because normally I don't see the videos. I just hear like a heggy. But today he did this and he went at the screen and I'm laughing my head off.
So it's all apparently it's all folded for him.
It's all what?
Folded for Decca.
How do you think?
I don't know what's happened. What have I missed?
I don't know. That's what I got told. They're all folded for him.
Well, one thing that I was aware of is Ben Waddington that was fighting for Decca. Have you finished rattling there, Missy?
Yes, just quite on.
Sorry, we've just been to a dessert shop.
Oh wow!
Oh wow, that looks good. French toast.
French toast. French toast.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
And I've got school dinner cake and custard. Anyway, where was that? Yeah, so Ben Waddington that was fighting for Decca put his own show on Saturday just gone. Bearing in mind that that Ben Waddington's not, you know, a professional promoter or YouTuber or anything like that, but he had the event. He had about 200 people paying to get in, and he's already got all 10 fights on a YouTube channel already uploaded. So Ben's done it better than Decca ever did.
Very professional.
Without making his mouth go at all. So shout out to Ben Waddington for that. Go and watch them fights. I'm not sure what the thing's called, but it looks quality.
Yeah.
You've got John, Andy, and Lee Hornsby are doing their own fight show together called Bare Knuckle Wars. You've got Simon Kirk's partnered up with the guy from Spartans to do YouTube.
We don't mention him. We don't mention Simon. He's no on this show.
All right, how's that?
Because twice, well, let's just put it this way: he was supposed to have turned up to do a live, didn't give any warning or anything. He was all up for this live. I advertised it a lot. Then he didn't even show up, and then I got some absolutely pathetic, and I don't like liars, excuse why he didn't turn up when I pulled him on it. And so I thought, well, I told him straight, said, don't, bother turning up again, because you're not welcome here. So that was it. I thank God for NFG, because he came, and Joe Kidd.
Oh, Joe Kidd, yeah, I saw that live with Joe Kidd and NFG.
Well,
I didn't realize that the person who we're not allowed to name was meant to be on there.
Yeah, he's Voldemort on here. You never mention his name. So
then, so that's all happened. Decker's got no fighters left by the looks of it. I mean, I put a video out today. He's talking about people in wheelchairs fighting.
Oh yeah, seen you saying something about that.
Yeah, now I thought that he was just saying it as a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah,
and he just something he hadn't thought through. But I've actually received a message today of somebody called Gary asking me to stop mocking him and Decker's new wheelchair fights that they're putting on. So this may just be somebody having a laugh, or it may actually well be something that they're putting together to seriously try and do.
I suppose people in wheelchairs could fight. They can do the Olympics, so I suppose they could fight. I've known someone, let's put it this way, a while ago, there was papers going on about this disabled man in a van that the police had literally, I think they tasered him and dragged him out. And it was all like, oh, that's disgusting, that's disgusting. They don't realise just because someone's disabled doesn't mean that they can't smash someone to smithereens. And this old fella was so strong, it was ridiculous.
Wouldn't though, right? If you were sitting in a chair and you were trying to hit somebody, wouldn't you need a reach twice as long as your normal arm? Because when I sit like that, my fist comes out about as far as my knee does to start with, but it needs to go another whole length of like the chair and the arm to connect with the other person. I may be being ignorant here. I just can't picture how people sitting down, whether they're disabled or not, how people sitting down can box.
I suppose it would be, I'd be thinking, well, you just grab hold the other person's wheelchair if you were in one and try to topple it. But I suppose it's most probably possible. I've heard of people in wheelchairs that can do some form of martial arts. So
yeah,
I suppose.
I mean, I've seen some great people in wheelchairs, some great like basketball and stuff like that. But I've also never looked for it. You know what I mean? I'm not on YouTube. Tell Anne what kind of videos I've been watching today.
He watches cat videos at all times.
Cats.
Yeah,
I know they're a big trend. I don't know. You get a cat channel to take off, you're going to be in the money. Money.
But I've been watching videos all night, like why does my cat hate me and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just getting
likes his dad and everyone else but Craig. She doesn't like me. She likes me less than she likes Craig. I don't know why.
She's been in here twice, since we've came on. She never ever comes in my bedroom, right? And last night when I was sitting watching videos on why she hates us, she came wandering in the bedroom, and I was like, it's like she knows.
And
she opened one eye when she's probably just going to shit on the floor.
Koshka, she's taken, or he, I should say, she's not she, it's a he. He found his way into the bedroom one day and tried to chase him out. He kept on going in there, and now that's his sleeping place. He just gets up on the bed, but thank God I've got covers on the bed. And he's fine. He'll just say, go there, go to sleep. And he loves it. So that's his designated room, sleeping. But just looking at the things here. Oh, yeah, I was going to say about this. Oh, you have to be so careful, Craig, about what you're saying as well. People say on YouTube and stuff like that. I've seen someone else, I won't name the person, but they're calling someone coconut, and that's a no-no. And especially a white person doesn't call someone else a coconut, because it's like saying the N-word, basically.
I never heard that one before.
Oh, it's bad. What it means is that the black, or basically brown, not black so much, a brown person, but inside the white.
Yeah, you see,
That's what
Chrissy was brought up racist, so she just says the N word, so she'll have never heard the other one.
Pass me a glass of pop, please.
I saw.
Did you see Decker's had a new Decker had a live this afternoon, and he's given me a new nickname. And I said straight away, Anne's going to be jealous of this. Do you know what my new nickname is, Anne?
What?
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Yeah, that's what Decker says my new nickname is. Now I've just
Well, you know, mate.
Just today, I bought a hedgehog to drink out of, and now I need to buy a Cinderella one.
I used to get called Cinderella. You know what? You know my real name, don't you?
No.
Does it begin with a T?
No, it begins with an S.
No, then I don't.
Sindona.
Is it actually?
Oh,
you've got a friend called Sindona, haven't you?
So I used to get called Cinderella now and again. So there we go. Anyway, I saw Tinker here before, Uncle Bobby. Oh, wait, here he is. Let's go and say Uncle Bobby. Come on if you want to. Where's Uncle Bobby as well?
Hi, Bobby.
Never mind, Bobby. Have a bone to pick with you, Craig. He knows why.
now? Oh, she said it takes.
I've had to tell you why, Anne.
Why? Go on, tell me.
Because he did it. Look at him, he's giggling, isn't he? He did a podcast with Simon Kirk, NFG, and
we don't mention.
You're not allowed to say.
That's Baltimore. He's banned.
You're not allowed to say Simon Kirk. You're not allowed to say Simon Kirk.
Okay, sorry. He did a podcast with 3 guys. And they completed the podcast in 35 minutes. And he said, that's what you get when no more questions. That's what you get when Bobby from the Honest Truth.
I said, yeah, we got through it in 35 minutes. I said, that's what happens when Bobby doesn't come on.
I found it amusing, actually.
And then, you know what I genuinely thought? I thought, hopefully he won't watch this all the way through, so he'll never hear that. And then I thought, but it is only 34 minutes because he wasn't on, so he might.
Well, I've actually clipped it and all. And I've pinched it and posted it, so there you go.
Brilliant.
Just to show that it's all in good humour, it's all a bit of fun. How are you anyway, Anna?
I'm all right. I'm saying it again. I thought I broke my toe before because I went right over onto my big toe. I mean, right over and it cracked. I thought, Jesus, no. Look at these 2 little lovebirds. Little lovebirds. So
I'll tell you why I've jumped on, because I heard you talking about this stupid DH and his wheelchair fight.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's just ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. It's something that you could do.
You could,
if you had the right qualifications. If you look at the Paralympics,
yeah.
They were cosplaying, weren't they? They were cosplaying as paramedics.
Paramedics, yeah. The Paralympics took years to set up. It was something that you couldn't just say, right, we'll get a few wheelchair, a few amputees, and we'll shove them all together. It's not something you can do like he's coming across in it. I'll arrange a fight for anybody, midgets, paraplegics, anybody that can jump in.
Little people.
In other words, he's
desperate. Oh yes, sorry. But I'm just saying is, what he's saying is, I'll find a match. How's he going to find a match? And like Craig says, how do you match somebody up who's physically, disabled in different ways? How do you match a fight up?
Well, funny, Bobby.
Ridiculous.
Bobby, I'll just say something about that because that's an interesting point. This is the same point that's been made, about trans women in women's sporting events. Now, let me make it clear. I don't think trans women should be in women's sporting events. It's an unfair advantage. It really is an unfair advantage. Yeah. But the argument is made by some people that when you get women athletes and women in Olympics, they can be mismatched as well. Do you remember some of those Russian women, which I'm sure were intersex, and they used to be really tough weight builders running? Now I said, so well, a woman like that is not going to be matched to a woman that's slicer, that way. So that's the argument that's made. But if people want to go there, I mean, I'd be amazed to find 2 people in a wheelchair that want to do it. Because all that someone would have to do is pull one wheelchair over. That's what they'd be doing, trying to get the wheelchair.
Well, they do rugby in wheelchairs. They do football in wheelchairs. but it's so intricate. The rules have got to be, you know, really placed out. You've got to, you know, it's not something you can just do all of a sudden. I'm going to jump on this. Like I said, the Paralympics took years and years before they could actually say, right, we're ready to go. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't just decided.
And it would have been set up by somebody far, far, far more intelligent than Decker Heggie.
That's what I mean. You have to be qualified. I mean, you what Craig and Chrissy probably won't remember the shot putters in the Olympics. You know, Tessa Sanderson and what was the other one called? The two ladies, Fatima and Whitbread. Do you remember those?
I remember Fatima
yeah.
Whitbread. Yeah,
they were huge girls, weren't they? I mean, they were
Yeah.
physically, but that was their job. You know, I think they were shot putters, were they, or javelin or something? But
well, this is the thing. They've got a runner now, haven't they, in the women's competition? It's a woman, but she's intersex. And of course, what's happened because she's intersex and she's got the male hormones in her, she's strong. She looks like look like she's transgender. It's a horrible thing to say, but she does. But full woman, but because she's intersex, she's got those hormones in her, which is put her as a disadvantage. Well, put it as an advantage, let's say that. But anyway, we were going to talk about? What did you think about? We'll get back to Decker, but what did you think about our glorious king and queen?
I watched a little clip of it. Might have been about 12 seconds. Some guy in a cloak put a crown on him and went, "God save the king," and then everybody went, "God save the king," and that was the end of the clip. That's my experience of it.
Anne loved it.
Oh, it was lovely. What did you think, Bobby?
I watched it Saturday morning. I watched the procession in the church and him actually being made king, whatever the word is. And I'm not a royalist, but I love the tradition. I love the tradition. I'm a big fan of the Queen. She was a wonderful lady, and I think she did a great job. But as far as the moniker goes, it's a touchy subject with a lot of people, isn't it?
Literally.
So, I mean, if I say to somebody when I'm out, you know, I agree with it to an extent because I like the tradition, you know, and it's unique. So I can get some negative feedback if you like. So it's one of those. I think if you had a vote today, it'd be a very close vote, you know, regarding should we have them or should we?
I don't think so, Bobby. I think there's a lot of support for the Royals, and you know, when people go on, I did a little video pointing out just how worthwhile that coronation was. We have made at least 900 million in a profit.
Oh yes,
profit.
Yes.
So it's huge, and I've always liked Charles, and I've always liked Camilla. I like the two of them. Tragic what happened over Diana, but at the end of the day, I've always said Diana knew what she was marrying into. The royals, everyone knows the royals have their mistresses, and the royal women also have their bits on the side. That's the thing, because they don't marry for love; they marry for convenience or for power.
Yeah.
They don't marry for love. So that was the always given thing. So they're allowed to have the bits on the side that they really do fancy. But I hope it's a tradition that I think it's just nice. I was saying the other day, so I don't know where I was saying that when you look at the Forbidden City in China, it's stunning. It's a beautiful place, but it's so cold at the same time because there's no imperial family there anymore. They haven't got that glamour, that colour, and I think it's just a nice bit of fairy tale. And they go on about this. Oh, it's not equality. Oh, look, not everything in life is equal. Just live by it. Get used to it.
You know, there's other royal families around the world. We know that, but I think every one of them is individual. They all do it in their own way, and we definitely do. All this pomp and circumstance. I love it, mate. I think it's great.
I love it. Yeah.
You know, the tradition. But I mean, usually those that don't agree with it, they get political very quick.
Yeah.
But like you say, Anne, they've got to realise, but the royal family bring in millions of pounds a year. You know, the Americans especially love it. They're lovers. You know, it's not all one-sided, and it's not all take with them. Then you know.
Yeah.
And I think King Charles, I think he's going to downsize. I think he's going to. The working royals are going to be. I think he's going to. I mean, this procession. When he was crowned king, they said that when the Queen was crowned, there was 8,000 people in that Westminster Abbey, and he brought it down. He says, "I don't want more than 2,000 people in there." So I think he's going to I think he's going to be one of those kings that says, "Look, if you're not a working royal, you shouldn't be getting anything."
They shouldn't, and that's it. They've got to. I'd say they've got to cut that. No one wants the hangers on, and that's it. You just want the immediate royal family. Though some of these hangers on, I mean, not all of them get it handed on a plate. They do have to work, and some of them do good work. But it's just that they're old. They're old.
The entitled ones. The entitled ones that get the position through their heritage, if you like, through that family tree of having a connection, that are absolutely useless and do nothing.
Yeah. So here was the one that came up. What did you think of the quote where that actress, I don't know her name, I've never heard of her before, I'm sorry to say, where she said, "Oh, when she looked at the balcony, it's terribly white."
Oh yeah, somebody said that tonight. It was. I don't know. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, "Yeah, it's terribly white." I didn't actually see him on the balcony. I just watched the actual service.
I've seen all the pics. Did you see Katy Perry get lost and lose her seat?
Was Katy Perry at the coronation?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Anton Deck was there. Lionel Richie was
right.
there.
But Lionel Richie was Anton Deck, or at least English.
Hey, well, wait a minute, Craig. Moto's trying to get on, and this happened to him a while back. He couldn't get on. Anyone get any idea of this? Why he can't get on?
Is it because you've got him blocked?
No, he's not blocked. I can assure you. I'll even.
Can I just ask the chat? If Princess Diana in her prime, right, against Camilla in her prime, in a wheelchair boxing match, who do you think would take it?
Camilla.
Your face didn't even change, Anne.
Do you think Camilla can have a shot? Do you?
I think she'd be able to hold her own, Camilla. She looks the type. She does.
Well,
and don't forget, Diana now, she'd be in her 60s, wouldn't she?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about them both in their prime, though. You know what I mean?
In the prime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Camilla. Look, Camilla's
she looks more rough and tumble, doesn't she?
She's more rough. I mean, Camilla was more into doing the work, She was on the land, horses and all this business.
I can see Camilla getting her in headlock.
What did you say, Anne? She looks like a horse, did you say there?
No, she was with the horse as well. She and all that.
Don't let him wind you up, man. Don't let this guy wind you up, man.
I hope Moto gets on. So, someone tried to help him out.
What's the error? What's happened when he tries to log on?
It happened to him last time. He can't get on for some reason. It's when it's the only one that's ever happened to is him. There must be something on if he's getting on through his phone.
I used to have a problem when I clicked the link. It would take me to an old link. So I used to have to read the link and retype it in manually rather than click on it. The letters at the end.
Yeah, that'll take him ages.
Yeah.
It'll take him absolutely
ages.
Why?
But yeah.
What's wrong with that?
No, because if you click the link, it wouldn't change the link, would it?
Well, it does, though. It takes me to an old link, even when you used to send me new links.
All right. Oh, maybe it's okay. I don't know about that. Can't be lost arguing. Yeah, you're probably right.
But anyway, right, getting back to this. Yeah.
Can I just ask you a question, Anne?
Well, wait a minute. Speedy Gonzalez, back there, right?
Okay.
This quote about being too white. Here he is.
I know it's smash.
What did you think about that? Terribly white, not too white. Terribly white.
What's happening, people?
Oi!
I had to get in through your email one. I tried to get in through the one that your mods put out, but it wasn't like me, and it was a cunt. Or something. Remember the last time I tried to go on?
Yeah.
I was like, and you're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, I fucking am.
See, now I used to get wrong for using language like that on Anne's channel.
You are on it because...
but I go in through your email, all good, how you doing, people?
All right, we're just discussing, this is the topic at the moment. Some actress said about the balcony at the Royals. that it was terribly white. And I'm just asking people what they think about this remark that the royals are terribly white, which I have
It was, but if
views
you
on.
don't have any,
But they are white.
yeah, like if you haven't, if there isn't anybody else in the family, that, like, do you know what I mean? Then what do? Make somebody up.
What do you mean by white? But as if they're not getting any sun, or they're just
Yeah, Scottish, basically Scottish. They look Scottish.
I
They look
think
very
that-
Scottish.
In fairness, I think what she meant was on the balcony. During the service, it was very diverse, but on the balcony, they had only white people. And the argument was, it wasn't just family up there. There were a couple of people invited, or a few people invited on, but they were white. But as a lot of
Was
people
Lenny
were
Henry
saying-
not there?
No.
No.
As people were saying, it's too...
What about Trevor
Do
McDonald?
you think
know
it
what?
could have, do you think it could have been sarcasm because Meghan Markle wasn't there? Or is it Meghan Markle?
No, she's apologised. She said she didn't mean it in a racist way. She was just saying it. She
Right.
wouldn't have expected it to be like that. But she, I
Moto.
think what...
Is Moto on a roller coaster or something?
He's got his roller skates on, hasn't he?
Oh, me you talking about?
It sounds like you're on
Are you on a
roller skates.
motorbike now?
Yeah,
What's
I've
going
got
on?
a trailer on the back of my van. I'm dropping my motor off in Edinburgh there.
Right.
Can you? It's a cunty noise on it.
Here we are. DMT has said made an interesting point. They are German and their last name is Windsor. Well, they were German Greeks, but but when William takes the throne, when he gets the throne, then you will have British royal family because Diana was British. They were called Cax. Oh, Moto. That noise is terrible.
I tell you what, it's
I know
We
it's a
can't
cunt, man.
You're
What
very
you'll have to
skilled
do-
on that. You're very skilled on that skateboard.
What
Wait
I'll do is, listen, I'll go
You
after
sound like you're skateboarding
Hey, well,
over
wait a
there.
minute, Bobby.
I'm
Just
pretending to be on a skateboard. I've had
Right.
3 times the time, mate. I'm
I'll
not fucking nuts.
Never did one.
No.
I'll hammer the boot. I'll go afternoon. I'll hammer the boot down, and then we'll try and go on. Right?
Yeah. Okay, Moto.
Because it's going to ruin your.
terrible
It's going to ruin your thing, mate. Your panel. You know what I mean? So just put me off the stream when we're going.
On space.
Okay. Here we go. Oh.
I'm going to go and fill me hedgehog up. I'll be 2 minutes.
Bring the lotus spread and a spoon up.
Tell you
So,
what? Sorry, Anna. What I was saying was, do you think the actress? I can't remember. Somebody mentioned it to me. Do you think it was sarcasm because Harry hadn't brought his wife?
no, she said she didn't mean like that. What it was, there were a couple of people on there that weren't the royal family.
Right.
They were just there. And as she said, as people have been saying, one of them could have been. I think it was because Charles made such a big thing that they had to be inward looking, they had to do this, they had to do that. Though I've never heard from anyone, now I've never met Charles, even when he was in the theatre, never met him. But I've never heard anyone ever make a suggestion that he's a bigot in any sense of the word. With his father, they used to say it about. But
Yeah.
that was just, but again, that was just the way people spoke in those days. They did. Half the time, it wasn't racism. It was just that the way they phrased things back then. They didn't have the same way as we do now. But as for, did you notice how it was very clever? This Harry, the camera was making sure it wasn't lingering on him too long. It was like they didn't want Harry to be shown too much on the screen. I thought that was the point.
I think
I've seen the bit where the person he was sat behind she had a big hat on. Was it Anne?
And yeah,
Yeah, and she had a hat on, so you couldn't see him properly anyway.
Well, 2 of the close family now, 2 of the immediate family, royal family, are not working royals, which is Prince Andrew and Harry. You know, which it's not a good
Well,
thing, is it really?
Harry has to give up the royal title. He has to. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no way you can have him carrying on with like that. As for Andrew, he never was one. Princess Anne is a completely different story.
Well, she's taken over his duties, hasn't she?
Yeah, and Edward, he was another one. He does actually work. Now, look what Edward did. Edward had to give up all his dreams, every dream he ever had, to stay being a member of the Royals. So, because he wanted to go into television production, didn't he? And he had to give it up because it was causing all kinds of controversy. Oh, where's Koshka? Koshka. I'll see if he'll let me pick him up. Come on here.
Craig, you're always eating, mate. You're always eating.
Kitty.
Yeah.
See, that's a cat that likes people.
Shut off.
Yeah. He's lovely, aren't you, Koshka? You're lovely little one. Here are you. Go to bed. Oh, he's a sweet.
You're eating crab sticks now.
Has Craig?
Yes.
Has Anne allowed you to mention what you're doing on Wednesday night, or you're not allowed to mention it?
No, it's not Joe Kidd that I'm annoyed with. Joe Kidd's all right. Joe Kidd's fine. Joe Kidd's fine. No, I know.
Wednesday night, the Laughing Lounge. Get yourself down. Me, Joe Kidd's doing a live podcast with Dougie Joyce, and then a live podcast with Ben Hatchett. Me and Steve Baker doing stand-up comedy. Get your photo taken in a hot tub with me and Sharon Crook. And it should be a laugh. It's £10 a ticket if there's any left, or 20 quid for a ticket with a set meal. I don't know if there's any tickets left.
Sounds a cracking deal.
I hope I don't need a ticket. I'm going.
Someone is being.
Otherwise, I'll be at Anne's door.
And there's 6 cans of Prime Energy on me rider.
But yeah, it's a pissy that's out there in bleeding water live. And you know, I don't drink, don't you? I'm of the temperance movement. I think we should bring that back. No alcohol.
Temperance movement.
We're not drinking.
No alcohol. No smoking. No drugs. No laughter. No sex. That's
What about crab sticks? Are crab sticks all right?
Would you have been back in the temperance days? Would you have been out there active?
Oh, of course I would. Of course I would. Any chance to dictate to others, say how perfect I am and how they should try to aim to be as perfect as I am. Oh, I would have loved it. I would have been a right cow. I would have been.
Would you? Would you be chained to the gates?
Well, do you know what? This is it. The reason I believe in reincarnation is that I had a memory as a very small child. Oh God, it was about 3 or 4. It was very young where I had this like vision one night, and it's also indicated that I was remembering something from a previous life. But I knew, and I always said, whoever I was, if that was truly me seeing back, God, I was a stern bitch. And I was a woman, but I was very stern. And I mean, very much, you know, so I thought, oh God, nothing's changed much. I'm still bleeding. You carry it over, don't you? You carry it over. Yeah, till I know sex. Sex is the devil's way. It's the devil's way of corrupting
See, I knew it.
mankind.
It's the devil's way, Chrissy.
The portal to hell is between a woman's legs.
I reckon Anne's the life and soul of the party when she's pissed, though.
Oh.
I bet, honestly, I bet she's been thrown out of many a karaoke bar.
Do you know what puts people off, right, about me going out? And they've always said this, is they'll turn around and they'll expect me, because I'm all chatty, you know, like here, can be really chatty and fun. But somehow, if I go into a pub or anything like that, I go dead quiet. And I don't know why myself, I go really quiet. And I've never
you just have a few stripes off, Decker, you'll be fine.
I just... Oh. Right, you're getting blocked because you're being silly now.
Oh, not me.
Well, so it was just someone coming on, trying to get on, and they're being silly. So I
don't want one. Fish sticks and French toast don't go together.
Fish sticks go with everything.
Well,
not French. You've had French toast, haven't you? Gypsy toast, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had that, but he had cake and custard, and now he's eating crab sticks.
Well, French toast is eggy bread, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
But that didn't look like eggy bread. What you were eating?
It had lotus spread on it and white chocolate drizzled on it.
Oh, for God's sake, Bobby, they don't know that the born nowadays do with all this bleeding eggy bread with chocolate on it. Who's ever heard of it? Spoiled something.
Bobby, whereabouts are you from?
Say that again.
Where are you from?
Me, I'm from Yorkshire.
Oh, by the accent.
What?
You can tell by the accent.
Stop talking. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
West Yorkshire. Craig,
See?
Craig, can you live their own place?
Right.
Just don't encourage him.
And where do you, whereabouts in the country would you say you are? I mean, we're in West Yorkshire, obviously, we're all northern. Anne's obviously from Liverpool or Merseyside.
We're in North Tyneside at the minute.
Right, so you call it Townside. Is that where you're from?
I live in Gateshead, but I'm from Nuneaton originally.
Right, because, you know, like local dialect, you and Craig could be from different towns. You might sound alike to us, the same as, you know, somebody down another Yorkshire, me and Karma Corner, or for instance, you know, or an FG, you might think we're from the same town, where he's 40 mile away from me, them guys, you know.
My parents are from down south originally, so a lot of the words are pronounced slightly different. So people from Newcastle will say, "Oh, where are you from?" Because that's not like, you know. But as I've grown older, the people I hang around with are broad Geordie, so I've slowly got more Geordie as the years have gone by.
Are you a Liverpudlian then?
Yeah,
right. Because you've got, from what I used to work with a girl from Liverpool, came and worked, and she said to me that there was like Birkenhead and Liverpool. It was like both sides of the river. Is that right?
Yeah, one's on the opposite side.
Yeah, and she says it's sort of like there's two parts. You're usually from one or the other. But you can't tell by your accents where you're from unless you're local, can you?
Well,
so you're born and bred in Liverpool.
Oh yeah. Well, I was born here, but the majority of my time was spent down south being educated. But I live right on the border of Liverpool. If you cross over the road from me, this is how far out I am. If you cross over the road, you're not in Liverpool anymore. You're in Knowsley, or how some people pronounce it, Knowsley. So which is Merseyside, but it's not Liverpool. Well, I was actually born. I couldn't get more Liverpool when I was born. It was where we were living, Granby Street, which is Toxteth. So right in the beaten heart of the central Liverpool, I was actually born in. So I'm proud of it, because people say when you were in the Bally world and all this, that's like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It wasn't an elitist. It's gone. Bally used to be a very elitist thing for elite people. They said now it's not. When I was doing it, it wasn't. It's more anyone can do it now. Anyone can do it. But yeah, I'm proud of it. Very, very proud of being a Scouser. Some people are here, and that's why I kick off when you know, you hear some Scousers and they're disgusting on YouTube. I mean, disgusting. Couldn't get more filthy, especially the women. And it's like, that's just reinforcing every stereotype and bad image people have of Liverpool. And you know what, Bobby? If you came up here, you wouldn't find many people talk like that. They don't go, they just don't. Very friendly.
I mean, a northern word we use is lad. You know, we'll say now, lad. I noticed with some of these Scousers, if you like. Do you mind being called Scousers?
No, they be called Scousers.
You hear them say la, okay, la.
Yeah, la.
It seems to be a new. Is that sort of like a recent word that they've changed, or have they always been like?
No,
that?
la's always been. That's been
right. Where we say
decades. Lad. Yeah, la. You know, right, la. That's it. And Queen. What you don't hear so much, and this is an old one. And when I hear people saying it, I think that's someone that's come from a real old Scouse family, and they'll say, "You're all right, Queen," and that is so. That's sort of fading away. That's going.
And would you have said that Paul O'Grady was a true Scouser?
Oh yeah. Actually, he wasn't. He was from Birkenhead, actually.
Right. And what about Cilla Black? Because a lot of people.
Oh, she was.
Lot of people, though, they say that she wasn't down to earth as you thought she was.
What it was with Cilla Black, I mean, she was real. You're talking about Sheer Road. I mean, you can't get more Liverpool or authentic Liverpool than Sheer Road. That's where she was from. And But what it was, I've heard this about her. I met her a few times, but never got close enough to get in a good conversation. But there were people that have bad reports about how stuck up she was and snobby she was. But let's put it this way: you couldn't get more of a professional woman.
Right.
She was a professional. If you wanted something, the job she did, especially when she was doing blind dates and all this, that's not easy. That is not easy to keep that up, that momentum and that fun stuff up. But Paul O'Grady loved her. What's his name? Ricky Tomlinson couldn't stand her. He couldn't stand her.
Is he a Scouser?
Yeah, Ricky Tomlinson, yeah.
He's very political at his time.
Yeah, he couldn't stand it. He used to say where people, what used to happen with Cilla Black was she'd only come back to Liverpool when she was selling the book.
Yeah,
or she was in a pantomime.
I think that's what the opinion was. I know I met a few Scousers when I were on holiday at one point, and they were just really dishing her, saying that, you know, she forgot her roots. That's what they were saying. You know,
I don't think she forgot her roots. She just didn't come back here. She never heard who she was. And let's put it this way: when she was starting off, and she was asked, "Well, what about your accent?" Because she wants to be an actress, and she said, "No, I'm not changing my accent." And she said, "People love this accent because it was the Beatles." But people always made the thing about her. She wouldn't have been anywhere only for the Beatles. She was like carried along with them.
Yeah.
But actually, when you listen to something like Anyone Who Had a Heart, that's stunning. She did the best actor. I'd do Dionne Warwick.
Justice.
Amazing. She did it amazing. She did have a voice. She just used to catchy songs. But that Anyone Who Ever Had a Heart, I've never heard even as say Dionne Warwick couldn't do it better than her. She did that perfectly. So, and she was talented. She was very talented. But again, you know, no one's perfect, are they? They're going to have people that don't like them, and that's what happens. But that's what happens. So, what does anyone want to talk about now to get on the subject, Decca or anything that's going on?
Let's talk about Craig because he's not here. Go on, Chrissy, you start.
I don't know. I don't even know where he's gone to get his Prime, I think. Or he's on his phone somewhere.
Say something that'll surprise him when he watches it back.
Yeah, but that assumes he would watch it back.
He's
probably
the biggest wind up on YouTube, isn't he? Come on.
But he's just like that in normal life. That's what he is normally. Like he's not like.
What do you think I'm watching on, Chris? You've got me phone, me laptop.
Oh, soz.
Does he tie you out with all that energy? Does he, you know, it's all day long, it must drive you nuts.
Well, I'm not here most of the day. I'm at work, so I don't have to deal with him most of the day. Normally, I get home as he's getting out of bed and he's like running around in circles, and I'm like, can you just go to sleep? Like, I had a banging headache, not yesterday, but the day before, and we fell out because he wouldn't stop winding me up.
Oh, you don't want that when you've got a bleeding headache, do you?
Well, you imagine that, and then imagine him on prime energy. He's like another level, bouncing off walls.
But do you know what? I told him off in private. Told him off. You know, he's doing these fat injections, they call them, where it dissolves the fat. Oh, I've never read the likes of it, Bobby, the things they do now. And he's doing that, and then he's filming himself having a greasy breakfast, and it's like, no. You don't. That's the antithesis of being, you know, privileged and too much money when you're getting fat injections to get rid of the fat that you're eating that morning. I mean, that's just
they just don't work really. Like if you don't do it properly, so it's a waste of money, really.
Yeah, he could be donating that to my fund.
He's back.
Bobby wants to know if you can come back in.
Yeah, he can come back in. We better be quiet now. We better change the subject.
I like that someone says his mohawk's not real. Don't tell it real. Tell everyone.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to have to go. I just thought I'd pop on because it's, you know, interesting subject to talk about the wheel. You know, joking aside, you know, them kind of things. And I just wanted to tell Craig I'd caught him out.
Well, I do think Decker will just get himself in trouble. Like, that's all that's going to happen. Somebody's gonna get hurt and not like it and report him
Well,
for it.
I can't see how he's still carrying on. I know that it would be devastating for
He's
you,
coming to an end.
Craig.
If coming to an end.
Oh, don't say that. Craig will panic.
What do you say?
If Craig, you panic if Decker gets kicked off YouTube, won't you?
No,
That's
because
it.
I'll just do what Star Wars did, and I'll go to the prequels. I'll do like Decker the early years.
You'll find somebody to play him, won't you?
Unfortunately, I've got 2 copies of this.
Right, guys. I'll say good night, and I'll catch you guys later.
Anyway, I'll
Thanks
see
for
you,
letting me on,
Bobby.
man.
Good
Good night,
night.
Bobby.
See you soon.
See you guys.
Bye now. Bye.
You go. Oh.
See, we should get through this a bit quicker now. Bobby's gone.
Shut up.
So talk us through. Start selling this. Show us how you sell this thing on Wednesday.
What did you say?
Talk us through Wednesday.
I don't really know much about it. We've got I know they're doing a live podcast on stage with Dougie Joyce for an hour or so. Then I'm doing some stand-up comedy, and I'm going to sing me Decker song live.
Is Dougie Joyce famous?
Yeah,
What for?
because he's Dougie Joyce and he loves you.
I'm totally dense. I don't know anything about.
I don't really know either. I know there's like an Amazon documentary about him that we've not seen.
Unless it's Geordie Shore related, I'm a bit dense.
But you've never seen an episode of Geordie Shore, so that's not true.
No, but I'll follow them all.
Right. I only really know who Dougie Joyce is through 3D Fight Club, and anything he seems to do seems to get big numbers. So he's got a following for something. I don't know what exactly. He used to fight, I think.
Did he? All right. Okay, that makes more sense.
He's from a big he's from the big traveling family, isn't he? You know, it's like the family that Dean Lynch Ward used to pretend he was from.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, I get told off for this, right? Last
Right.
time I said it, but I'm sorry. If you're a gypsy, right? I'm
Mhm.
sorry, or traveller, you don't live in a stationary house. You just don't. It seems daft saying that. If you're a Romany, yeah, you can do, because Romany is actually it's a ethnic thing, isn't it? A Romany, it's a race of people, but when they're living in luxurious houses and then saying, I'm a traveller, I'm a gypsy, you're not. No, you're not. That's
You're not
and I got
travelling
told
anymore.
off last time for that. It's like you're not sitting, not traveling anymore, are you? So are we going to be knowing this thing? Casillo's come on board, hasn't he? Ben Hatchett.
Ben Hatchett.
Yes, Ben Hatchett's doing a live
What's wrong
podcast
with
as
him?
well.
What's wrong? Am I suddenly speaking Chinese? Why is he suddenly asking what I'm
Because
saying?
she's put the headphones, which your voice is coming out of, and put them over there somewhere. That's why. So let me put them back where I had them. Right here. I'll hold them here, and then we can both hear you.
Look, let's put this
There we
way,
go.
Savage, right? Gypsies don't get forced into the luxurious houses that they get forced into. I'm telling you now, it's not they're getting forced into it. But so there we go. Can't have it both ways. But anyway,
So
right.
yeah, so then Ben Hatchett's doing a live podcast as well. That I Kid You Not podcast, obviously hosted by Joe Kidd. I'm doing some stand-up comedy. I'm going to sing me Decker song live for probably the first and only time.
You're gonna practice.
What?
Are you gonna practice?
Yeah, in the car on the way down. So you're in for a treat of a drive.
There's only one Paddy Conroy. What about the Paddy song?
I could do me Paddy Conroy song. I don't know if do they even know who Paddy is in Liverpool?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, this people have been like, who you talking? They don't even know what's his name. The travel. Isn't this terrible? I don't even know his name. So, I don't know who the hell he is. But yeah. So Paddy Conroy, what's your thoughts on Paddy Conroy's latest, or is it you never go?
I don't watch him.
Again?
I haven't got a clue what he's up to. Tell me what the latest is.
Probably kicking off about someone.
Probably something to
getting
do with
Tiger.
Tiger, probably. Or he's not solving any more murders until he sorts out Tiger. Or Steve Wraith used to sit on the Steve Wraith used to sit on the crazy knees dressed as a woman on visits in jail.
Isn't he kicking off about Humbo?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I genuinely haven't seen him for months.
It's funny when he goes on about he goes on. He said, "Yeah, and I told you, and and he's saying all this about the Freemasons and all this. I told you, but he's the way he's saying it's like watching a little old lady, trying to.
That's what he is.
It's like, my God, but it's funny when you hear him going on. It really, really is. So, Decker Heggie, let's get back onto him. What do you think the situation now is? Because he's claiming that people are falsely reporting them, getting women to report them for sexual. Don't say the
Right.
word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Jimmy, do you want to come on? I'll put the link out if you want to come on.
there's something going on in regards to that quite seriously with the police, so I don't really want to talk about that.
Talk about it, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause,
That's not just a bit of hearsay. Something is really happening there with the police that hopefully should be the end of them. But I've been told, well, not told, but I've been asked very nicely this afternoon not to mention this online. So,
oh well, don't mention it because you don't want to inhibit any case or anything at all. So anyway, talk us through your life, Craig. No one said your life story. You know, how did you become this privileged little boy? You know?
Privileged little boy. I worked very, very, very hard in the music industry for 20 odd years and retired when I was 40, and then ended up just doing YouTube as a hobby, really. But I got a bit of traction, and here we are.
So, and now you're a movie star, aren't you?
In actual fact, I had a lead role in a movie some years ago. I was in the worst film ever made, which is called The Stone, No Soul Unturned. And the whole film's on YouTube, I believe now. It's one of the weirdest things you'll ever see in your life. But yes, I did have a little part in the CS film as well. Chris, you've been very rude there. Could you get off your phone, please? We're talking about me, so could you pay attention?
She's not texting, is she?
No, she's looking at videos of her pals on nights out on Instagram is what she's doing.
No, I didn't. They just sent a video in the group message from last night.
Can we talk about Sophie going to
No.
Ibiza now?
Shut up.
No, that Kevin has.
Shut up.
All right, sorry.
Here we are. Now, oh no, I'm not going to, I need to spoke about it. I'm not going to say what it was, though, when I was very young, I was in a TV show. But I never want to be, I was found acting very, very bored. No filming, because I think I've mentioned before, I won't go on at Labour. I saw Casanova being filmed. Fellini's Casanova, one scene from it. And it was either 2 or 3 days they filmed over, and I was so bored, Craig. Bored was unbelievable, so I never wanted to go into acting. It was all
there's an awful lot of standing around doing nothing filming. An awful lot.
I thought, oh Christ, I couldn't be asked with this.
It's not designed yet. Well, I've got ADHD, so it's not really designed for that.
Yeah. You should have become a ballet dancer, Craig. Do you think you would have made a nice ballet dancer, Chris?
I haven't got the toes for it.
He hasn't got the coordination. He falls over.
What are you fucking talking about, you mug?
You can't walk straight.
What? All right, aye.
You can't sit still.
All right,
Imagine you're trying to like play.
All right.
On the floor.
Do that again. You know what you remind us of there? Can you remember the hippos on the Shamborsi advert? Shamborsi, you've just got to dive in.
You little bat. Is that an advert from the 80s?
It is, yes.
Craig's got an obsession. Give him a quiz, right? And it's adverts on the 80s and he's in there like swimwear.
No, well, Chris, you'd never even seen the Trio advert. You know, Trio.
Oh, with the one with the little girl that used to shout. Oh, God, remember that. Yeah, I remember that well. Oh, don't let's go on to the past because, you know, oh, God, the memories. That's what reminds you getting old, Craig, when you start talking about the past fondly. People, when you get there, Chrissy, right, you start talking about, oh, I remember when. That's when you know you get. You see, this is it. He's fidgety pants, isn't he? Fidgety pants.
Weren't his inhaler in my face?
Was he the one in school that used to annoy all the other students?
Yeah. Things I've been
that.
suspended for include putting stick insects in girls' hair, setting a hippie's hair alight on the school bus, but it was a genuine accident.
Hey, I tell you what's an interesting one, and I'm not bringing this up to cause any kind of insult or injury because I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist or a medical end. But the Americans have been saying for years, some Americans said there's no such thing as ADHD. What do you think about that?
Well, it's you can physically see it on a brain scan, so it's a neurological disorder. So to say it doesn't exist is just idiotic. I believe a lot of people are diagnosed with ADHD that don't have it. But it definitely exists.
Oh, I tell you what, I found out ages ago because I used to test people many years ago. Look, Craig, behave yourself. You in class now.
What is
So
it?
behave yourself. Don't fidget. Put it down. Put it down now. You're getting told what to do.
Oh,
Put it down. It's God. You know what, Chrissy? What did
What
I
if
say
we,
to you, Chrissy?
One
This
of my
is it.
friends sent me the questions for the questionnaire for the to be referred for testing for ADHD. And like, if you get so many points on the questionnaire,
was one of them? Can you do an impression of the hippo off the shambles?
Right,
Yeah,
No.
look.
And I definitely don't have ADHD, but I could have easily scored quite a few points on that.
yeah.
like,
Everybody's got some symptoms of it some of the
Yeah.
time.
But I feel like that's why a lot of the systems, like lots of people end up diagnosed that shouldn't be diagnosed.
Well, I think it's
incorrectly.
also because a lot of kids are just little shits because their parents can't control them and haven't brought them up properly. And in
That's
this
what
day and
they
age, they
meant.
go probably ADHD. It's not the fact that his mother's pissed all the time, right? and lets a 12-year-old look after a 6-year-old all weekend while she's on a sesh. It's not that, it's ADHD.
Well, it's Savage Gucci. I think I'm with you. I think he does have BPD, but
Is it what's that?
borderline personality.
Borderline
disorder.
personality disorder.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, Chrissy.
I do often punch myself in the face, which
Shut up.
apparently is it.
Right, I'm going to put you on mute if you keep on talking over me.
Just
Right,
tell me.
anyway, right, here we go. Now, right, let's talk about this borderline personality disorder, right? Load of pants. What the hell does borderline personality disorder mean? Only we can't be asked telling you that you're normal, but you've just got quirky ways about you. Borderline, what does that mean? Are you borderline cross-eyed? Are you borderline short-sighted? Are you borderline tall?
I've got a friend who's been diagnosed with that, and he says things to me all the time. Like, there was once we're in Weatherspoons, and he said, "Craig, you know that feeling, right, when you want to rip all of your skin off?" And I was like, "No, I don't know that feeling." And another time, he told me that that when he's in the shower, he pretends he's famous and he's getting interviewed.
What are the symptoms of what do they say borderline personality
Google
disorder?
is pretending to be interviewed in the shower a symptom of borderline personality disorder.
BPD symptoms.
Can I have my inhaler back, please?
Emotional, no, it's over there. Instability.
Who doesn't have that?
Disturbing patterns of thinking or perception.
Who doesn't have that?
Impulsive behavior, intense
doesn't
but
have that?
unstable relationships.
Who doesn't have that?
True.
All that they mean, right, let's put this way. All that they're talking about, this is what they've got to get away from. They're putting too many labels on people. Is that, right, borderline personality means sod all, and you can tell by the way it's an umbrella term. And can someone show me this perfect specimen of a human being that has got nothing that can be given a label about them? That's perfect. Perfect. Not with that scare, do you not? No, that's a part of your personality disorder, isn't it, Craig?
What, the mohawk?
Yeah.
I just thought it was because I'm an attention-seeking prick.
It's true.
But
Is that not what it is? Oh, maybe it is BPD.
yeah, it might be borderline.
Gets upset if it isn't in the picture when I'm trying to take a photo.
Because you always crop the top of it off.
But you know, a lot of people, you do, yeah, I've got this, I've got. I remember you. Oh God, I'm doing it on. I'm going back. I remember years ago. You know, not so long ago, within my living memory, anyway, people used to. They'd shown any kind of idea that they had any kind of condition or any kind of mental health issues. Or you could. It was an embarrassment, but now it's also like gone completely.
It's in fashion.
Away. It's in fashion in a lot of ways. Yeah. Oh, I've got this. I've got that. It's like, oh, you're like in the Boy Scouts. It's like, oh, what else have you got? Oh, I've got this. I've got this as well, and it explains what is really. It's used to. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just. Maybe I'm from a different way. I'm diagnosed. Here we are. Let's see. Here's a good one.
Emotionally unstable personality.
But the thing is, what the hell? People get emotionally unstable. People.
See, I don't think I'm emotionally unstable, Chrissy. I'm steadily a cunt all of the time.
How is that? But this is watch your language. This how can emotionally unstable personality? How can being emotional and stable at times, be a personality disorder. The name is insulting, actually. Disorder. I mean, isn't it normal to have complex human emotions? That's what you're talking about.
True.
That's what I think, anyway. I think it's insulting to say that. Let's put it as I look upon it. If you suddenly take medication and it makes something go away, then you've got some kind of condition. Because if you take medication for something and you're still the same person, that means, it's just you. That's it. You've got that. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying, don't you, Craig? You know what I've just said, don't you? No, it just makes no sense, but I know what I'm saying, don't I?
I just think that not enough in the world today. Nobody knows enough about the brain, but then I don't think we'll ever know enough about it. Everyone's brains work slightly different. Like when you look at all the Craig showed me loads of YouTube videos where they show different pictures of people's brain with ADHD. They're on and everyone has a slightly different way of do you know what I mean? None of it's
it's basically two parts of the brain work faster than normal people, the neurotypical brains. In two parts of the brain, it's one of them in particular, which name I can't remember, barely has any activity at all, which is why we're so impulsive, but also hilarious and gorge in most cases.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's everybody's different, aren't they? One of my friends said to me years ago that I was unnatural because I'd never contemplated suicide.
Right. Have you now though?
No.
Never.
Never?
Really?
What?
I need to work harder on it.
Why would I not want to be here?
Well,
Craig,
to think about it is different to attempting it. Everybody's thought. You must have read the brochure a couple of times. No.
Never ever even.
God, Chrissy, I think about committing suicide just to win an argument sometimes. No, I'll show her. I mean, I would never do it, but
be careful of saying that word. Be careful of saying that word too often on YouTube because
no problem.
Start go with ting 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 the little things. But yeah, that subject. I mean, this is it. People forgetting. I've always said this. There's natural responses to life. When someone does think, oh, I'd rather not be here, and they're contemplating something, that can be a natural response to what is a horrifically difficult situation. It's what can happen to your body. And I know this happens to me whenever I've got really stressed out by something or everything's been just so hard or difficult to get through, demand-wise, I can suddenly start sleeping awful long time. I want to sleep all the time. That's because your brain's trying to say, no, don't think about it for now. Get out of it.
Yeah.
But it's a natural response. But people I think when people start running for pills, that's when the problem. I mean, with ADHD, it would be different. You need the medication. But
I don't believe you do need medication because I wasn't diagnosed till I was 35, by which point I was already extremely successful in my field of what I was doing. And but I've never taken medication properly.
Is he rich, Chrissy?
A little bit.
Oh, is he?
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
Oh, that means he's well off, doesn't he? He can throw the cash around. Do you know what? I'm trying to start. I haven't got any money, and I'm looking for donations. You do know that, don't you?
Well,
you need to get me a coffee link up.
I'll have to do that. I will.
Everyone buy Anna coffee, and you never know if she gives me a good massage on Thursday morning. I might buy her a new phone.
Oh. Here we are, ADHD. Here we are. This is an interesting one because I don't know the answer to this.
Yes, massively. Mine's always been an advantage to me, even before I knew what it was. But there are many people with undiagnosed ADHD end up in a life of crime and stuff like that because we tend to find fast ways to do things, and sometimes when it's unmedicated and people from less fortunate backgrounds and whatnot tend to use that towards that sort of problem-solving brain to commit crimes, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting saying that.
It's like maximum effect, minimum effort kind of stuff.
I know some people with autism. I mean, I was told I had a functional autism. I doubt it sometimes, but it must be a very mild form of autism. But you can turn that to your advantage, or you can
Massively.
make it an advantage.
Yeah, I've seen
Like,
Rain Man.
I can focus right in
Yeah.
on something and work. So, but it can have the disadvantage that if anyone interrupts me, I get very, 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 very shitty if they try to take me away from something that I'm doing or interested in. So anyway, get on to us. We're still talking about you when you were growing up, right? Because people have never heard this side. Craig, the life story. So anyway, when did
I'll tell you what, Anne. I'll tell you what, Anne. Do you want to do this a proper Craig's life story interview at some point, but not tonight? Not when I've had 3 prime energy drinks. I can't sit still.
Why
My
you
brain's
have
going. My brain's going.
Yeah, we could do, but why have you been drinking if you've got ADHD prime energy drinks?
Because it's well, ADHD is medicated with stimulation medication, stimulant medication. So things like caffeine is good for it. But with anything else, sorry, if something feels good to me, I will abuse it because I have a very addictive personality.
Because you're a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chrissy,
Yes.
does he know when you tell him not to do something? How does he respond?
He'll just do it.
So you have no control over him.
No, not in the slightest. Just does what he wants.
So do you think if Chrissy was more, how can I put it, more, stern?
I have to make him think it's his idea.
Gary told you to do that, didn't he?
If he thinks it's his idea, he'll do it or not do it.
Say that she was more, let's say, stamping her foot, and you'll do it, boy, when I tell you to do it. Do you think you'd respond to that well?
Should be even more single than she already is.
Oh, that's nice. Well, it looks like no one's jumping on, Craig. I put the link out there. And they start to do this to me now. And I don't know where Moto's gone. He's buggered.
Well, I mean, if I had known, I could have invited Stone Kirk on.
No, we're not going to invite him.
Hang on, this isn't Pornhub.
Who's got porn on?
Who's got porn on, like? How's my computer still on?
Yeah, that's what I meant, Julie's. That's exactly what I meant. And I invited Dry to Humble on, and again, he's a no-show. He's a guest, He's a guest. He's a guest at times, isn't he?
Well, he's too busy winding up every gangster he can find at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a guest. I invited him along to because he usually keeps everything starts going mad when he comes on. But he hasn't come on. So anyway, what do you want to speak about now?
I want to go to bed.
And you was going to say that. And
you did.
I'm going to eat me French toast.
So it's going to abort now, this live. I was thinking, this is going to be good. I'm going to have Mosa on. I'm going to have John. I'm going to have other people on. NFG was hoping to come on, but he's busy. He is working though, NFG. And look what's happened. But it's been interesting with Craig. What are you doing?
Just looking at me mohawk in the camera.
Have you thought of dyeing it a different colour?
Yeah, I was going to dye it brown because it's going grey.
Why not do it? What about pink?
Seen that because I'd look like that darts player. What's he called?
Can't remember. I know what you mean.
Well, if you want attention, that's what you have to go for.
No, if you want attention, just go and kill a load of people for no reason.
There's no need for that.
It works though.
If you want to, right?
Peter Wright, that's his name.
If I am do you think I'd have a chance? Oh yeah, you'd look good with that.
That is me.
That's not you.
I know.
Anyway, what would you do, right? Do you think I'd have a chance with Paddy Conroy, Romantic Rise?
Definitely, yes.
Do you think I should go for it?
I think you should, yeah.
So to go down.
I think you should. You could probably, I don't know, put some form of wait till he's asleep and put some form of pole up in the shed, and then when he's on live, just pop your head in the door,
I think me and him would really get on well. I do. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling we would really, really get on well.
I mean,
Oh
he's,
yeah,
he's got one. What's those dogs that all the gay men have got? Paddy's got one of those.
Chihuahua.
That's a telltale sign, surely.
A little chihuahua. Oh, that ball. What's it called? I forget what he's called it. Tootsie. Tootsie.
I think is it. Has he not called it? Well, no, I thought it was called Stephen Sears.
Do you know, he
I
just
don't
does.
know what he did. You just causing trouble, is all I know.
I'm just going to try it on with Paddy Conroy.
Yeah, I'm going to see if he's up for it because he's sitting there. He's, you can tell. I mean, when he's buying little fanny dogs, you know that he's calling out.
Yeah,
he's calling out to the community. Saying,
I mean, he's getting on a bit now. All he does is sit in his shed and make stories up. But basically, he writes fan fiction, doesn't he, about people from his life and about how they're gay and them sleeping with other men. And that's, it's running out of time now, and he does deserve to be just admit who he is and be happy.
What it is, he'd have to spend his time, making me feel wanted, making me feel happy, making me feel beautiful, that way. So I think I will go down that road. But anyway, seeing as no one's jumping on and seeing as Paul Moto hasn't got back, sad.
He's got work tomorrow.
I know.
So anyway, thank you for coming on, Craig.
Thank
you for coming on, Chrissy, and thank you everyone in the chat. Bye for now, darling.
Subscribe to Video Craig and subscribe to Simon Kirk.
Oh wait, no, keep away. Yeah, you've stopped. You've got me. I going now. You keep away from him.
Smash the likes.
You keep away from him. You're banned from speaking to that man anymore. Anyway, bye now, everyone. Bye. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.